This is the Reality Self-Help Podcast. Summer House Recap Edition, because I'm on a mission. This is the Reality TV Self-Help Podcast in the City Recap Edition. And I'm actually going to go... Actually, it's the Summer House Recap Edition. I'm going to go backwards in the episode. So the best news, well, thank you to everyone. If you're listening to this and you went out to the Good Co on Granville, there was over 300 people there last night. It was packed to the brim. It was amazing. There was such good crowd energy. I hosted a Summer House viewing party. And yeah, it was genuinely very, very fun. I met and sat with some people that I met throughout the few weeks. And so that was really good. So yeah, everyone was buzzing about what is this special surprise thing going to be. So it was the Summer House, the aftermath. So I love that it's so dramatic, as it should be, as why we go to Bravo for the drama, the heightened, one more week to look forward to something. And we have it's in the city as well. I have it paused behind me watching it. So, okay, they are showing that, we get to see next week how Miha and Sierra hang out, and Miha says that West texted her, "You win," after the reunion, and I just wrote psychopath. I don't know if West is a psychopath, but I think, yeah, he even said something that I'll go to here. Let me find this point. He said, like, I read this way. Okay, this is what he said. At one point in the episode, he goes, "This matters to me." I think when Jesse was talking about how hurt he is, he goes, "This matters to me. I apologize if I don't read emotional enough." Okay, don't you think you would just, for how you experience emotion, you would just be like, "I'm sorry if I'm not emotional enough"? But even he processes and describes his own emotions through a lens of how it comes across, because that makes me wonder, are you a psychopath, sociopath, something, a narcissist, that you always just are thinking about how your image projects outward, and he tries to say the proper language. Like here, he almost has all the correct words. Like, you could have said, "This matters to me. I apologize if I don't read emotional enough." He could have just said, "If I'm not emotional enough." That would have seemed normal. But yeah, him saying, "If I don't read emotional enough," it's the don't read part that's like, oh, okay, very interesting. Okay, at least Amanda was to say, but again, she's so flat, so it's hard to get your heart into it. "I know that I fucked up an incredible friendship, and that is something I will live with for the rest of my life." That she says she's going to be doing a lot of thinking and a lot of reflecting, maybe spending a lot of time just thinking about me and what is important to me, and I think that would be great if she did that. She says, "I cannot say sorry more to you, Sierra, until I'm blue in the face. I truly am sorry for what I've done. Truly, you do not deserve a friend like me." That is true. We could say, because Amanda likes to play the victim, that truly, you do not deserve a friend like me. That is a bit of victim mode, but she is accurate, so I will give her points in both directions. But she's at least able to, more than West. I think Amanda does have compassion on some level, and she loves people, and that's why it's so weird that she did this to Sierra. Because, yeah, I think she's a little bit different than West, though she is really concerning right now how she acts. And then even just saying, Amanda says that she lost sleep, she didn't eat. She said, "I fucked up and I am deeply sorry for betraying your trust. It kills me." And then Sierra goes, like you fucking text me 24 hours before a fucking statement is going to come out. "Lindsay had to pick me up off the bathroom floor so I could go do my job." And that's why I do get pissed, and I think this is why other people get pissed online when people are trying to defend Amanda. It's fun, actually. I met someone who was trying to defend Amanda last night, and I respected that she was at least willing to put a different opinion out there, especially when it's the one that's, like, easy to argue against, because it is really hard to justify or see. But yeah, I think just Amanda, she was really okay with hurting someone and really, again, rocking their version of trust and reality that Amanda already knew was broken. And that's why it makes so much sense where Lindsay's also saying, like, "How did you not think this through?" So Lindsay going, "What did you think would happen?" Knowing Sierra, how did you not know that what this was going to do to this friendship? And then I think it was Jesse, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he says, "I feel like I'm losing a brother." And then that's when Wes says, "Yeah, this matters to me. I apologize if I don't read emotional enough." And Carl speaks up to Amanda saying, Amanda, what are you doing? Like, blah, 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 blah. Amanda, I hear you. It's, she's kind of saying, I see it, but you can tell again, she's so far gone right now in, I think, her depression and how much that makes her cling to West. That, yeah, it's not like she's really like, I'm gonna leave West tonight. Thanks, guys. But I think the part about Miha that West kind of finally got pinned down to having to say, where it's like, okay, West, like, so were you, because he's like, oh, yes, in, December, January. And then Sierra's like, you sent Miha flowers on Valentine's Day. You were saying you love her. And then they're like, did Miha think you were in a monogamous, or not a monogamous, but an exclusive relationship with her? Or like, were her boyfriend then? And he's like, yes. And they're like, okay. And then he says, like, I've deceived a zillion girls. Let me find where this quote is as well. Okay, let's get up here. So yeah, there's a lot that happens in the episode that's fascinating. Okay, I'm going a little bit further up to the top of the episode. Lindsay saying to Amanda, seemed like Amanda was yelling for her. I love that this got dealt with. It seemed like Amanda was yelling for herself, not for Sierra, over when West had that girl sitting on his lap right directly next to Sierra. You don't see me, or I do believe he saw you, very much so. Even though he was wasted, I still think he knew you were there. You're being filmed on a TV show. I think West, no matter how wasted he was, knew that Sierra was there. He did it to piss her off. That's why it sucked that it looked like a weekend later that they did their best friends thing and made up, because on one hand, his really rude, disrespectful behavior the weekend before reinforced like bad behavior with West, because he got what he wanted of getting back in Sierra's good graces, America's good graces. I'm sure that was another thing. And yeah, Amanda and him are kind of flowing some energy between them, but like, I just think West views he's the ultimate capitalist, and he just views life as up for the taking, and just throw out there what you want to, and if you get something back, like, he thinks, it's the law of attraction. I'm gonna go for it, and whatever, it's everyone else's problem. But now that this has happened, after season 8, it's you disrespected Sierra publicly. That was your first blowback, and then thinking, oh, I've learned from that, and then something so much more extreme. So yeah, his own casual attitude, I think he's learning that's not how a lot of other people, and even I love that Kyle quoted, because I'm like this too, where stuff sticks in my head. He's like, oh yeah, he says, like, what's your plan for Amanda, kind of thing, and Andy's asking him, do you feel pressure to make this thing work? Wes says, I do, but I don't want that to be why it works. And Kyle's like, yeah, remember, you were on Watch What Happens Live, and you say, I'm going to show her the streets. And yeah, I noticed that as well. It's like, yeah, you're getting off on showing Amanda how to be out in New York City past 2 a.m., not with Kyle, because we know she wasn't out with him. So Kyle is emotional. He says, you've left Amanda alone on an island, which is very in line with who West is and what he needs, and what Sierra was saying about what he needs in a partner. And I feel like, yeah, I definitely have dated men like this, and this can start happening, but then I blow back. But then it always, yeah, it's so confusing with people like this. But anyways, he says, what's your plan for Amanda? And also Kyle's like, I feel like a fool, because we were texting early in February, and you were in Miami for dinner with Amanda, and that's when Jesse got ditched, and Jesse noticed it was weird and felt hurt that he was excluded from the dinner. So West is texting with Kyle. It's kind of along the lines of Raquel at that bar scene going up to Ariana going, so like where she's like, how was your sex life with Tom? Like when Ariana was complaining about the relationship. And that's the kind of stuff where I just go, okay, that is insane. Like, say you were friends with someone, and wouldn't you just not try to act all fake to them? Like, it's so hard for me to grasp any of how this stuff goes down, but that is what it is. So yeah, what's your plan? Okay, he was like, I was telling West that Amanda and I are talking about our sex life in early February, or our lack thereof a sex life, so I feel like a fool. And Wes says he totally gets why that is, but I think he just knows he should say that he totally gets why that is. I think he knows, like, he's been in enough scenarios and observed them. He's like, this is what should be said here. But that's what people are starting to realize is, like, he can kind of, it's like whack-a-mole. Like, he kind of knows often the suppose what you should say, but because it lacks compassion, remorse, and awareness, I do believe they're on probably Xanax or something stronger than beta blockers. I don't know because I've never taken a beta blocker, but it seems like, yeah, they're sedated to a higher level. But even beyond that, I almost feel like maybe they like that they're sedated because then they don't have to be emotional, and maybe they wouldn't be emotional even off of this. I don't know. So let's see if we're going to say anything else, because I really need to stay. I keep going on for too long. So yeah, I'm just going to cut it off here. The Summer House third part of the reunion was really good. Again, watching it with a bunch of fun people is amazing. I am really excited to watch Andrea freak out on Kenny. This is my second time watching In the City. And I already watched the reunion episode twice. And yeah, so a lot happened, but you don't get answers out of people like this that ever make sense, because they don't think in how you would, when your conscience is really going to shape a lot of your decisions, or hopefully as many as you can. They don't think like that, and that's why Lindsay's like, what? So Lindsay's hilarious also, just with her wine. Like, honestly though, what are you people thinking? But if you listen to this, thank you so much. Please follow me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Ideally, hopefully, please give me a 5-star rating. I saw that I have only 2 ratings and one of them is 1 star. So that's not a good sign. But thank you for your support so much to anyone who's in Vancouver last night. Also, I am starting a group chat on TikTok called Bravouver, 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 or Bravovo. No, Bravover, but I prefer to say Bravouver. So it's a group chat for any people who are in Vancouver or the surrounding area who want to know about any future Bravo events. For example, I'm thinking even Dinner Party from Hell. What if we have a viewing, say, once every 2 months, and it's an old classic episode from a Bravo show, from Southern Charm, from Vanderpump Rules, from, OC, one of the originals, and where enough people know it to want to go see it. That would be so fun. So the ideas are endless, so please DM me if you want to be a part of this group chat on TikTok. Bravouver, Bravouver. Thanks, have a good night.